The Holy Spirit is not a mist, not a power, not a wind. The Holy Spirit is a person, and until you come to know him as a person, you will never walk in the fullness of what God has for you. The way you speak to him, the way you approach him, matters more than you know. He is holy, he is gentle, he is tender, and he can be grieved. There are many who talk about the Holy Spirit, but very few talk to him. They study him, they debate him, they discuss him, but they don't invite him. They don't welcome him. They don't whisper, "Holy Spirit, I need you." And so, they never truly experience the depth of his presence. The Holy Spirit is not an abstract idea, not an invisible energy floating through the air, and not merely a theological concept to be studied or analyzed. The Holy Spirit is a person, real, present, and deeply involved in every aspect of a believer's life. To truly talk with the Holy Spirit, you must begin by recognizing his personhood. This changes everything. If you think of him only as a force or a power, then your interaction with him will be mechanical, limited to commands and demands. But if you understand that he is a divine person, your entire posture becomes one of love, relationship, and communion. You cannot build a relationship with an object or a concept. You can only build a relationship with a person. So the way you speak to the Holy Spirit must be the way you would speak to someone you revere, someone you love, someone you know has a heart that feels, a mind that thinks, and a voice that speaks. The Holy Spirit has emotions. He can be grieved. He has a will. He makes decisions. He has intellect. He teaches and reminds. This is not a mystical vapor moving through a church service. This is the Spirit of the living God, and he longs to be known personally. When you come to him, come knowing you are speaking to the very presence of God who dwells in you. Don't reduce him to a power you try to harness. He is not here to be used. He is here to be loved, to be welcomed, and to be honored. Many make the mistake of trying to use the Holy Spirit to achieve spiritual results, but they never pause to know him. They want his gifts, but not his friendship. They want his manifestations, but not his voice. They want his help, but not his heart. This is why so many people live empty of his presence, even though they talk about him often. To correct the way you talk to the Holy Spirit, begin by acknowledging his presence as you would a dear friend entering the room. Don't talk about him as if he's distant or hard to reach. Talk to him. Say, "Holy Spirit, I know you're here. I welcome you." Say, "I want to know you more." These aren't just religious phrases, they are lifelines of connection. Because the Holy Spirit is a person, he can respond, he listens, he communicates, but he waits for invitation. Think of how you speak to someone you love and respect. You don't barge in with demands. You don't shout for attention. You sit close. You speak gently. You give them space to respond. That is how you speak to the Holy Spirit, with care, with attentiveness, with the awareness that he is not obligated to respond to noise, but he is drawn to sincerity. The more you treat him as a person, the more real his presence becomes in your daily life. The less you treat him like a formula or tool, the more he will reveal himself as the helper, the comforter, the teacher, the friend. He is waiting. He's always been waiting, not for your performance, not for your perfection, but for your attention. The way you talk to him begins with how you see him. He is not far away. He is not difficult. He is not distant. He is close. He is gentle. He is listening. And he desires a relationship more than a reaction. Speak to him as you would to the one you trust the most, because that's who he is. When you talk to the Holy Spirit, It must come from the depths of your heart, not from a place of religious habit or performance. The Holy Spirit is not impressed with long, winded prayers, eloquent speech, or carefully memorized lines. He listens to sincerity, he is drawn to authenticity, he is moved by truth spoken from a childlike heart. Religion teaches you to say the right things, to sound a certain way, to keep a formula. But relationship teaches you to be honest, open, and real. So many people come before God with a script in their mind. They've heard others pray a certain way, so they try to copy it. They believe that saying the right words will get his attention. But the Holy Spirit is not looking for perfection in your words. He is looking for the posture of your heart. It is entirely possible to say all the right things with your mouth, yet have a heart that is distant, cold, or disconnected. He cannot be deceived. He is not swayed by appearances. He sees through the noise and hears the whisper of a soul that truly longs for him. When you talk to him, don't try to perform. Don't try to sound spiritual. Don't try to act like someone else. Talk to him like you would talk to someone you trust with everything inside of you. You don't need to raise your voice or impress him with fancy religious language. You don't need to repeat words over and over hoping it will stir something. Just speak from the real place, the place where you are right now. If you're weak, say you're weak. If you're confused, tell him you don't understand. If you feel dry and distant, say it. He already knows, and he's not offended by your struggle. He's drawn to it when it's offered in honesty. The most powerful prayers are often the simplest. Help me. Speak to me. I need you. I miss you. These short, sincere sentences move his heart more than an hour of mechanical, hollow words. He doesn't need your performance. He wants your presence. He wants you to come as you are, without pretending to be something you're not. Religion teaches people to hide behind routines, to say things that sound good but mean little. But the Holy Spirit responds to vulnerability, to real conversation, to the kind of talk that comes from someone who's not trying to manipulate, but simply wants to be near him. This is why so many never experience the closeness of his presence. They're too busy trying to impress a God who already knows their flaws. The moment you drop the act, the moment you stop trying to impress, and you simply come with humility, the atmosphere changes. He doesn't want your perfect words. He wants your honest heart. Your openness becomes the invitation for him to come and do what only he can do. You'll never cry the right amount of tears to earn his voice. You'll never quote enough verses to earn his nearness. But when you open your mouth with sincerity, he comes close. Speaking from the heart means being willing to be quiet sometimes. Not every moment with the Holy Spirit has to be filled with words. Sometimes the most sincere expression is silence, a sigh, a tear, a moment of stillness where your heart speaks louder than your lips ever could. This is the beauty of relationship. It's not built on performance, it's built on presence. And the Holy Spirit loves presence. He draws near to those who are honest. He dwells with those who come with humility, not with rehearsed words. When you speak from the heart, you stop striving and start connecting. You stop trying to move God with your efforts and realize He's already moved by your desire to be with Him. You don't need to be a theologian or a preacher. You don't need to know all the right things. You just need to be real, be present, be honest, because that's what He's looking for. The Holy Spirit is not someone you approach casually or carelessly. He is holy. He is God. He is worthy of deep reverence, not because he demands it like a tyrant, but because his nature is pure, gentle, and sacred. When you speak to the Holy Spirit, your heart must be aware of who you are speaking to. You are not speaking to a friend who tolerates you, or to a servant who must obey you. You are speaking to the very Spirit of God eternal, divine, and present with you. There is a way to come before him that honors who he is. The way you speak, the tone of your voice, the posture of your heart, it all matters. He is not impressed by your confidence. He is moved by your reverence. Reverence does not mean fear in the sense of being afraid. It means awe. It means you recognize how sacred, how beautiful, how beyond human understanding he truly is. It means you don't rush into his presence without awareness. It means you don't speak to him while your mind is elsewhere. It means when you talk to him, you mean every word. Tenderness is the atmosphere where the Holy Spirit is most at home. He is drawn to hearts that handle him gently, carefully, thoughtfully. You cannot barge into his presence with arrogance or entitlement. You must come with humility and love. When you recognize his gentleness, you begin to mirror it. You begin to speak softly. You begin to pause and listen. You begin to make space for him to be honored, not just accessed. This is why many people don't experience the nearness of the Holy Spirit. They treat him like a power source, something they go to when they need energy, when they need help, when they want something done. They come in, demand results, and move on. But he is not a tool. He is not a resource. He is not here to serve your agenda. He is a person who desires to be loved, not used. Speaking to him with reverence means you don't talk over him. You don't rush through your time with him. You don't fill the silence with your own noise. You give him space. You speak with intention. You recognize that you are in the presence of the one who hovered over the waters at creation, who descended like a dove upon Jesus, who filled the upper room with fire, and who now dwells in you. This awareness should change the way you talk to him. He is not like people. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't push. He doesn't shout to be heard. He waits to be welcomed. And when he comes quietly. That's why your heart must be quiet too. The volume of your voice doesn't move him. The volume of your spirit does. A loud heart, full of pride, anxiety, or distraction, cannot host the Holy Spirit the way a humble, quiet heart can. There is a sacred beauty in speaking to him with both reverence and tenderness. When you call on him, do so with the awareness that you are inviting God into the moment, not a religious experience, not a ritual, God himself. This awareness will shape your words. You'll begin to say things with care, not out of obligation. You'll find yourself whispering instead of shouting, kneeling instead of demanding, loving instead of using. And as you learn to speak to him this way, you'll begin to feel the shift. His presence will come, not because of your performance, but because of your posture. He responds to honor. He responds to hearts that make room for him. When you speak to him with reverence and tenderness, you are saying, Holy Spirit, you matter to me. I see you. I know you're here, and I honor you. And in that space, he will dwell. The Holy Spirit does not speak in chaos. He does not shout to be heard over the noise of your busy life. His voice is gentle, still, and calm, like a whisper in the wind that can only be heard by a quiet soul. This is why stillness matters. This is why silence is powerful. If you truly want to hear the Holy Spirit speak, you must learn to slow down and quiet the noise around you and within you. He doesn't compete with distraction. He waits for attention. He speaks in moments that are set apart, moments where your heart has settled and your spirit is listening. Too often, we rush into prayer with our own agendas, our own lists, our own words. We talk, 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 but never pause. We ask, we plead, we cry, but we never stay still long enough to hear the answer. It's in the stillness that his voice becomes clear, not because he wasn't speaking before, but because we weren't quiet enough to recognize it. The world around us is loud, the mind is loud, the emotions are loud, but the Holy Spirit's voice is not like the voice of the world. It does not come in panic, pressure, or performance. It comes in peace. Stillness is not just a lack of movement. It is a posture of the soul. It means your heart is resting, your mind is focused, your spirit is open. You are not striving to hear God. You are simply being with Him. You are aware of His presence. You are listening without forcing anything to happen. That kind of atmosphere invites the Holy Spirit to speak. It tells Him, I'm not here to control this moment. I'm here to receive. Stillness is uncomfortable for many people because we are trained by the world to be busy, to be productive, to always be doing something. But the Holy Spirit is not found in busyness. He is found in still moments where there is nothing else competing for your attention. That's why early mornings, late nights, or quiet walks often become sacred spaces where He speaks. You don't need a crowd, you don't need music, you don't need emotion, you just need silence and expectation. When your heart is still, you begin to notice Him. You begin to feel His presence settle over you like a gentle breeze. Your thoughts slow down, your emotions come into alignment, and His voice begins to rise, not in volume, but in clarity. He may bring a verse to your mind. He may remind you of something He said long ago. He may whisper something new, or He may say nothing at all. But in the silence, you still know He is there. Learning to be still before the Holy Spirit takes practice. It takes discipline, but more than that, it takes hunger. You must want to hear Him more than you want to be heard. You must desire His presence more than you desire answers. You must value intimacy more than information. When He sees that desire in you, He responds. He draws near to the one who waits, not the one who performs, but the one who rests, not the one who demands, but the one who trusts. Stillness is sacred. It creates space for divine conversation. It's where your spirit and His spirit align. It's where you lay down your voice so you can hear His. It's not inactivity, it's intentional sensitivity. You're saying, Holy Spirit, speak. I'm listening. And in that quiet place, His voice can become the most real thing you've ever known. It won't sound like thunder. It won't shake the ground, but it will shake your heart, and that will be enough. The Holy Spirit cannot be deceived. You may hide your emotions from others, wear a smile while your soul is aching, or speak confident words while your heart trembles. But the Holy Spirit sees it all. There is no mask that can hide your true condition from Him. This is why honesty is the beginning of every true encounter with Him. If you want to speak with the Holy Spirit in a meaningful way, you must come as you are, not as you think you should be, not as someone you're trying to impress Him with, but simply, sincerely, honestly. Too often, people approach the Holy Spirit as if they need to fix themselves first. They feel unworthy to speak to Him unless they are already strong, already clean, already full of faith. But the beauty of the Holy Spirit is that He welcomes the broken. He comforts the weak. He draws near to the discouraged. He does not turn away when you're struggling. In fact, that's when he's closest. He's not waiting for your perfection. He's waiting for your honesty. If you're feeling dry, say so. If you're confused, tell him. If you're angry, express it. If you feel numb and don't even know how to pray, admit it. He will not be offended by your truth. He already knows it. But what moves his heart is when you invite him into that truth. You're not hiding. You're not pretending. You're simply opening your soul and saying, Holy Spirit, this is where I am. Come meet me here. And he will. There is something powerful about raw honesty in the presence of God. It creates an atmosphere of trust. It invites his comfort. It welcomes his correction. When you try to act strong, you block his strength. When you try to act wise, you miss his wisdom. But when you say, I don't know what to do, or I don't have the strength today, you create room for him to be exactly who he is, the helper, the counselor, the comforter. He is not impressed with performance. He is moved by surrender. The more open you are with him, the deeper your relationship will grow. Because when you stop trying to be someone you're not and simply allow yourself to be vulnerable in his presence, that's where healing begins. That's where guidance comes. That's where real transformation takes place, not through trying harder, but through trusting deeper. Many people miss intimate moments with the Holy Spirit because they feel ashamed of their condition. But shame is not from him. He convicts, but he never condemns. He points out what needs to be healed, but never with the intention of rejection. His heart is always restoration. When you feel weak, don't run from him. Run to him. When your heart is burdened, don't wait until it's lifted. Bring it to him. He doesn't love some perfect version of you that only exists in your imagination. He loves the real you right now as you are. So talk to him like that, with realness, with openness. You don't need the right words. You don't need to cry a certain number of tears. You don't need a formula. You just need to be present and honest. Whether in tears, in silence, in questions, or in praise. If it's real, he receives it. If it's sincere, he responds to it. And when you begin to speak to him this way, without hiding, without pretending, you'll begin to notice something shift. His presence will become more tangible, his voice more familiar, because he's not looking for perfection in prayer. He's looking for truth in your heart. The Holy Spirit dwells with those who are real. Speak to him like someone who knows you're already seen, already known, already loved, because you are. There are moments with the Holy Spirit that cannot be captured in words. Times when your heart is so full or so broken, when your spirit is so aware of his nearness, that words feel small and unnecessary. These moments teach us something sacred. Sometimes the most powerful way to talk with the Holy Spirit is not through speaking, but through surrender. It is the language of yielding, of letting go, of saying with your heart what your mouth cannot express. Surrender is not weakness. It is trust. It is laying down your will, your timing, your understanding, and allowing the Holy Spirit to take full control. Many people try to fill the silence with noise. They think they must say more, pray harder, cry louder, repeat longer in order to get his attention. But he is already near. You don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to perform to be accepted. What he longs for is your heart, open, willing, humble, and nothing expresses that more clearly than surrender. The quietness of a yielded heart speaks louder in heaven than 1,000 rehearsed prayers. It says, I trust you more than I trust myself. I don't have to understand. I just want you. Surrender is when you stop trying to manage God and allow Him to manage you. It's when you come to the end of your striving and finally rest in the knowledge that He knows what He's doing. It's not lazy or passive. It's active trust. It means giving up your need to control outcomes, to fix yourself, to prove something. It's when you finally say, Holy Spirit, I give you everything. Not just your problems or your prayers, but your plans, your opinions, your defenses. Surrender is the soil where intimacy with the Holy Spirit grows. It's where you stop wrestling and start receiving. When you truly surrender, you stop measuring the effectiveness of your time with God by how much you said or how long you prayed. Instead, you measure it by how deeply you yielded. Sometimes the most powerful prayer is a single whisper, have your way. Sometimes the deepest communion is found when you close your mouth, lift your hands, and simply breathe in His presence. That's when He begins to work, not because you earned it, but because you invited Him without resistance. This kind of surrender changes you. It breaks pride. It silences fear. It opens doors that were shut by your own striving. When you surrender, the Holy Spirit can finally speak to the parts of you that were too guarded before. He can minister to your wounds, reorder your thinking, and renew your strength. You stop striving for breakthrough and start living in it. Not because you pushed hard enough, but because you let go, and He took over. Many people talk about surrender, but few live it. True surrender costs something. It costs your opinion. It costs your timing. It costs your desire to be in control. But what you receive in return is priceless. Peace beyond understanding, guidance without confusion, a relationship with the Holy Spirit that is not built on effort, but on union. This is where transformation happens. This is where clarity flows. This is where your heart begins to beat in rhythm with His. Don't worry if your words feel few. Don't panic if you don't know what to say. Let your silence be worship. Let your stillness be surrender. Let your openness be prayer. The Holy Spirit understands the language of yielded hearts. He hears the cry of those who simply say, I'm yours. In the absence of speech, your surrender becomes the loudest conversation you've ever had with God. And it is in that sacred silence that heaven moves.